Welcome to the Zayd podcast. I am Zulfah, and today I want to have a conversation that feels less like a lecture and more like a mirror. I want to speak to the part of you that secretly knows you're capable of more, yet feels trapped between ambition and inconsistency. I want to talk about the quiet frustration you feel at night when you promise yourself tomorrow will be different. And I want to offer you something deeper than motivation, stronger than discipline, and more practical than inspiration. Today, we talk about systems, the invisible engines behind every extraordinary life, and why your goals are not the problem but your design is. This episode is for students who feel overwhelmed, for young professionals who feel behind, for creators who feel stuck, and for anyone who has ever asked, "Why do I know what to do, yet still don't do it?" If that question has ever lived inside you, stay with me, because by the end of this episode, you will not just think differently, you will see your life differently. The cave we all live in. There is a reason I open this episode with the story of Iron Man Tony Stark trapped in a cave, surrounded by enemies, limited by time, resources, and fear. That is not just a movie scene. That is the psychological state of most young people today. You feel trapped inside expectations, academic pressure, financial uncertainty, family responsibility, and a constantly scrolling world that never gives your mind silence. You know you want to escape into a stronger, sharper, more accomplished version of yourself, but you keep trying to walk out of the cave using willpower alone. Tony did not walk out. He built a system that carried him out. This is where I want you and I to pause and be honest. You already have goals. You want better grades, better skills, better income, better confidence, better relationships, better health. The problem has never been that you lack desire. The problem is that nobody taught you how to build internal machinery that moves you forward even when desire disappears. And desire always disappears eventually. That is not a flaw in you. It is a law of human psychology. Human progress has always been powered by systems. We built schools to store knowledge. We built transportation to defeat distance. We built algorithms to manage attention. We built financial institutions to organize value. Humanity evolved not by trying harder, but by designing smarter. And yet, in our personal lives, we still operate like hunters with no tools, chasing goals with bare hands. That contradiction is the root of most modern frustration. The ground reality of today's student. Let me talk directly to the student listening right now. You wake up with your phone already glowing in your hand. You scroll before you even stand up. You promise yourself you will study later. You sit in class, but half your mind is somewhere else. You attend online lectures, but your finger itches to open another tab. You plan big goals in January, and by March they feel like someone else's dream. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are overstimulated, understructured, and unsupported by any internal system. The world today gives you infinite inputs but zero frameworks for execution. Your parents tell you to work hard. Your teachers tell you to focus. Your peers tell you to enjoy life. Social media tells you that everyone else is ahead of you. So you live inside a storm of contradictory signals, and in that storm, your brain defaults to what it evolved for: immediate comfort, quick entertainment, quick pleasure, quick relief. That is not a moral failure. That is biology, running on outdated software in a hypermodern world. The tragedy is that you start blaming yourself for a design problem. And self-blame is the most efficient killer of momentum. Why motivation betrays you. We need to dismantle a dangerous myth. That motivation is the engine of success. Motivation is emotional weather. It changes hourly. It disappears when stress increases. It collapses when results are slow. It evaporates when comparison kicks in. If your progress depends on motivation, your progress is hostage to randomness. This is why New Year resolutions fail. This is why study plans collapse. This is why gym memberships become donations. This is why business ideas die inside notebooks. It is not because people lack ambition. It is because they design ambitions with no automation. Your brain is a reward-seeking machine. It will always prefer a small reward now over a big reward later. That is why scrolling beats studying, junk food beats healthy meals, comfort beats challenge. This preference is ancient, and no motivational quote can override millions of years of evolutionary wiring. So instead of fighting the brain, intelligent people build systems that cooperate with the brain. They turn discipline into default behavior. They turn effort into routine. They turn chaos into structure. Not by force, but by design. The system mindset: a goal is a destination. A system is the vehicle. A goal tells you where to go. A system decides whether you will ever arrive. Most people set goals. Very few design vehicles. And then they wonder why they are standing in the same place year after year, promising themselves that next year will be different. A system is not a timetable on paper. A system is not a motivational speech. A system is not a burst of effort. A system is subconscious programming created through repeated behavior, environmental design, and psychological alignment. It is brushing your teeth without thinking. It is tying your shoelaces without planning. It is unlocking your phone without awareness. These are systems you already built. The question is not whether you can build systems. You already have. The question is whether you are building systems intentionally or accidentally. Most people accidentally build systems for distraction, procrastination, comfort, and avoidance. Very few intentionally build systems for learning, discipline, creativity, health, and growth. Your life today is not the result of your goals. Your life today is the result of your systems. That is the uncomfortable truth that changes everything. Identity. The root code: every system begins with identity. If you believe you are lazy, you will build systems that confirm laziness. If you believe you are inconsistent, you will build systems that justify inconsistency. If you believe you are a learner, you will build systems that feed learning. If you believe you are a creator, you will build systems that support creation. Identity is the root code that writes every behavior. This is why J.K. Rowling wrote every day before success. She did not wait for motivation. She did not wait for validation. She operated from a core identity. I am a writer. Every action reinforced that identity. Every page written was a vote for her future self. This is why Sachin Tendulkar practiced when others played. This is why top students revise when others rest. This is why high performers move even when they feel nothing. They are not chasing goals. They are expressing identity. If you say, I want to study, you are negotiating with yourself. If you say, I am a learner, you are declaring yourself. Systems built on identity are stable. Systems built on wishes are fragile. Structure. From wish to execution, most students live inside wishes. I want to get good grades. I want to learn coding. I want to start a business. I want to improve my English. Wishes feel good. Wishes give hope. Wishes create temporary motivation. But wishes without structure are fantasies. Structure means clarity. Structure means timelines. Structure means measurable actions. Structure means defined environments. A wish says, I will study more. A structure says, after dinner, I will study for 25 minutes in a distraction-free space. A wish says, I want to get fit. A structure says, after brushing in the morning, I will do 5 push-ups. A wish says, I want to build skills. A structure says, every weekday at 7 p.m., I will spend 30 minutes on one course lesson. Structure turns dreams into executable code. And here is the key. You do not need perfect structure. You need repeatable structure. Consistency beats intensity. Small systems repeated daily outperform big efforts repeated occasionally. The 4 pillars that make systems unbreakable. Let me now give you the architecture of powerful systems. The first pillar is trigger engineering. Every behavior needs a starting signal. Without a trigger, your brain forgets. With a trigger, behavior becomes automatic. When brushing ends, workout begins. When laptop shuts, planning starts. When you enter your room, reading begins. You are not forcing discipline. You are connecting new behaviors to existing ones. The second pillar is action minimization. Your brain resists big actions. It does not resist tiny actions. Reading 1 page is easy. Doing 5 push-ups is easy. Writing 1 sentence is easy. Starting small is not weakness. It is psychological wisdom. Once started, momentum carries you forward. You are hacking activation energy, not fighting laziness. The third pillar is instant reward loops. Long-term goals fail because rewards are delayed. Your brain needs immediate confirmation that an action was valuable. Marking a calendar, ticking a checklist, writing a victory line in a journal, celebrating small wins. These are not childish tricks. They are neurochemical programming. Dopamine released after completion wires the habit deeper. The fourth pillar is a failure-proof safety net. Life will interrupt you. Exams will pressure you. Travel will distract you. Emotions will fluctuate. A system that collapses after one miss is not a system. It is a fragile plan. Real systems have recovery rules. If I miss today, I do minimum tomorrow. If I fail this week, I reset on Sunday. You do not quit. You adapt. This is how consistency is engineered, not hoped for. The student's new reality. Now imagine a student who applies this. They wake up and do 5 push-ups after brushing. They read 1 page before bed. They review notes for 10 minutes after class. They write 1 idea after opening their laptop. They track each action on a simple checklist. No extreme discipline. No dramatic motivation. No heroic willpower. Just small actions triggered automatically. Rewarded instantly. Protected by recovery systems. In 1 month, their confidence rises. In 3 months, their habits solidify. In 1 year, their identity transforms. Not because they tried harder, but because they designed smarter. This is the real competitive advantage in the modern world. Not intelligence, not talent, not privilege, but system literacy. Why this matters for society? A society where young people run on willpower is fragile. A society where young people run on systems is unstoppable. When students understand how to build internal structure, they become self-directed learners. When professionals understand systems, they become self-driven performers. When creators understand systems, they become consistent producers. When individuals understand systems, they become architects of their own lives. This is why system thinking is not self-help. It is survival skill. It is career insurance. It is psychological stability. It is emotional resilience. The world will only become faster, noisier, and more distracting. Those without internal systems will drown in external chaos. Those with internal systems will surf the waves. The choice. So now I ask you directly, will you keep setting goals and hoping motivation stays? Or will you start building systems that work even when motivation dies? Will you keep blaming yourself for inconsistency? Or will you redesign your behavior architecture? Will you keep chasing success? Or will you build engines that carry you there? The cave is real. The cave is modern life. The suit is your system, and the decision to build it starts today. I want to end this episode with a reminder. You do not need to become someone else. You need to design the version of you that already exists beneath distraction. Goals give you direction, but systems give you destiny. And destiny is not written in stars. It is written in daily design. This is Zulfah, and this was the Zayd Podcast. If this episode challenged you, let it stay with you beyond today. Let it question how you live tomorrow morning, how you study tomorrow evening, how you choose tomorrow's small actions. Because one small system, repeated daily, can rewrite an entire life. Until next time, keep building wisely.